Morning guys, welcome to DOdaily. Wake up to walk. It's Des here. Finally managed to get by those cows. Whilst it was a really scary experience, ultimately they were just being nosy. They got really close though, so I'll be honest, I was a little bit petrified. Got through that field and then got into some woods, and then sort of started to understand that autumn's definitely on its way. Still a bit dark, it's a little bit chilly as well, but of course I'm following the Robin Hood way, and when you can stumble across views like this, it's absolutely amazing. This is the real heart of the Nottinghamshire countryside. Just over there is the village of Equin, which I was hoping to get to last week. Finally passed through, heading out towards Rufford Park and the A617, the main road from Nottingham to Mansfield. I mentioned that a lot. Seems like I've crisscrossed it a million times on this journey. Obviously not that many, but of course it zigzags up and down the county and takes you to all these really interesting parts. And whilst I was kind of plodding along through the tough terrain, it's been that since Southall about 10 miles ago, it's been really tough, heavy underfoot, fields, deep woods, long grass, cows. I wasn't really expecting much of where I am, but like I say, then you stumble across something like this, and I also stumbled across a really interesting story, something that was particularly fascinating during these COVID pandemic times. As you'll see at the end of the video, I took a photo of Montpassion's cross. Montpassion was a what's the word? Rector from the village of Eyam, who during the bubonic plague, during that epidemic in the 16th century, was a real hero over there in Derbyshire. People really sort of worshipped him because he was thought to have done many great things to stop the spread. He was the main reason that he came up with the idea of putting holes in the stones to disinfect, is that the right word? Disinfect the money and the coins, so they could stay about the daily business, do usual things, and ultimately get through it. As much as we don't like to think it, money makes the world go round in many ways, doesn't it? Things like this prove to me it doesn't, but in many ways it does. So he was a hero over there for doing that. Lost his wife and decided to move. He moved to Equin. Wasn't quite the hero again over here. Not initially anyway. He faced a bit of reluctance. People thought he might be bringing the plague to this part of the world. And I thought it was really interesting that he did some of his services in the open fields of Equin. He might have even done it here, who knows. But he did his services, and of course I talk a lot now about getting outside and how we can adjust to the things we do, and waking up to walk is one of the things that I took on during this pandemic. So he was outside, people started to believe in him, following him, put the trust in him, and ultimately became a little bit of a hero over here as well, which led to him being offered the position of the Dean of Lincoln Cathedral, which is not too far in that direction. Of course, it's not in Nottinghamshire, but it's not too far over. And he refused it. He just wanted to live a quiet life after that. And like I said, I stumbled across this really nice memorial. So just something to sort of pick up on. And like I say, you can set about your business not knowing what you're going to expect, thinking it might be just a plod, just a few miles of activity, but things like that make it really interesting and worthwhile. And like I say, I love a view. I've said it every week probably when I find those. Take lots of pictures, check those out at the end. Really enjoying it again now because of those things, and because the ground's a bit easier I'm coming to the end. I can see Kay in the distance ready to pick me up, ready to take me away to start the day and get on with all the normal things we have to do. And I say it every week, I do this to really give me a head start in all that. Do you know, I look back at the week and look forward to the weekend. This week has been hard to explain really. Do you know, I'll try and put it into some sort of context, but whilst I've spoke a lot recently about riding that high and then sort of boom, back down to earth, do you know, and sort of realising that it gets you when you least expect it, do you know, I'm okay at the moment, I'm plodding through. I mentioned on Thursday Thoughts last night about taking one day at a time, and to be honest, that's what I've done. Do you know, every day's been a little bit different this week. I've had my moments where I felt great, I've had my moments where I've felt not so great. Do you know, different things have picked me up. Today this has definitely put a spring in my step. It always does that, and that's why I love getting out, you know. But there's been moments where little things have annoyed me, little things are frustrating, you know, little moments of self-doubt. And all I'm trying to do here is reassure people that that's only natural. That's the way it is, do you know. But if we sort of infuse and be positive about the things we enjoy and we keep doing them, do you know, because it's so easy, isn't it, when we're not feeling great not to do them, we'll quickly sort of build off all those small wins, do you know, build off all that good feeling we get from doing nice things, and we'll get back on top of it. I feel like I'm getting there, do you know. Whilst I never got too low, of course there was upsetting situations, do you know, and I had to realise that these things happen sometimes, you know, we can't keep sort of tip top all the time, do you know. I say it almost every day, at least every week, do you know, we're creatures of emotion, aren't we, and if everything was amazing all the time, it just get boring. The reason we can infuse and be excitable about all the things we do is because we don't always have it, do you know. And when you understand sort of life in that way, it just makes it a lot more bearable, do you know. Realise that form is temporary and class is permanent. So if you keep doing the things you do which you really enjoy, do you know, that's what's going to take you forward, isn't it? That's the class, do you know. Form doesn't matter. Form flitters between good and bad, do you know, and there's always a better day ahead. And for me, do you know, going into the weekend and having started this today, having picked up on those one or two things that have made me think, well, that was worthwhile, I'm really excited. Of course, for someone who loves football, who loves Forest, it's the big local derby tomorrow. I'm right in the heart of Nottinghamshire, so that's a big Nottingham thing, Nottingham derby, just over the border there. And that's the biggest day in a football fan's calendar, the game against the local rivals. So really looking forward to that. Nervous because of it, do you know, it's just the way it is. Really sort of nervous about what we're going to do because, as I've said lots of times, we've been rubbish, but again, form is temporary, so hopefully, just like me sort of building up on things, Forest can do that and sort of get through this minor blip at the moment. After that, of course, it's the bank holiday, do you know, that's a reason to be cheerful, isn't it? Do you know, an extra day off, a long weekend, we all love it, do you know, and it's the last one for a while, so we definitely got to make the most of it. I'll be doing the running club on Sunday, do you know, and me and Kay have planned to have some nice lunch, do you know, just do something a little bit different because it's the bank holiday weekend, because we can, do you know, and because it is a bit of a sticky period. And then on Monday, really looking forward to it, I'm bringing the guys from Do Running out on the Robin Hood Way again. So last bank holiday we covered the first 20 miles, I think there was about a dozen of us. This time there's one or two more looking to take on the second 20 miles, do you know, and that's going to be amazing, isn't it? I've done this, I've got so much from it, do you know, I've gone wrong. I've found things that I wasn't expecting. So what I can do is share that experience, you know, inspire them to get as much from it as what I do. Keen walkers, people keen on activity. So I'm sure again it's going to be an absolute cracker, you know, and that's something to really look forward to. It's an all-day event, you know, covering that amount of miles on our feet, but it's definitely going to be worthwhile. The endorphins are already flowing after 4 miles this morning, so after 20 I can't imagine what they'll be like, and that's what it's about, isn't it? Getting out, getting that activity in. You just see me there, some guy running past, running around here. Must be absolutely amazing. Every week I think, when I can run again properly, I'm going to get up here and do it. But yeah, I think looking towards the weekend like that with the real positivity and with so much to do, you know, again, it's just that one day at a time thing. Whilst of course I'm planning for a few days over the weekend, you know, I'll take each experience, enjoy it, make the most of it. Hopefully it improves the next one. If the football don't go to plan, you know, I'll try not to get too bogged down with it and fed up, you know. There is more to life. I have learned that a bit more as I've got older than football. But, you know, again, if we do win, it's something to be really sort of take forward and be really to add something to the weekend. You know, next week, really looking to sort of crack on, you know, looking to put a lot more structure into what I do. Got some exciting plans with DOdaily. You know, it kind of kept me awake last night because I'm a little bit sad like that. You know, when I've got something in my mind, you know, I like to think it through, you know. By doing this, you probably realise now, even though I can't get the message across always as I want to, quite a deep thinker, and it's all about that improvement, isn't it? It's about finding ways to keep going, you know, keep sort of pushing on, keep making the most of each situation, getting on top of life, and trying to inspire and motivate others to join in too. Because if you've got people around you who you believe in, who believe in you, you know, who like the same things, like this experience on Monday, you know, that's what it's all about. Doing stuff like this, I want to help people and encourage people to make positive change. You know, I feel all the time I'm doing that. I feel I can deal with life by doing things like this, getting up early. You know, it's a tough ask when you've been awake half the night, letting things run through your mind. But the reality is, you know, you soon get back into gear, and we can always catch up on that as well. You know, like when we feel down, you know, I'll encourage people to sleep well, eat well, do the right things. But we have blips, don't we? You know, and that's what it's kind of been about over this period. It's about just enjoying it as much as we can and looking forward to the weekend. Hopefully you're going to have a good one, guys. Hopefully I'm in top form again next week. Like I say, working on 1 or 2 ideas. Got lots to sort of go at in terms of activity. Get out there and do yours. If you can find views like this, you know, if you can get from it what I do, I can assure you you're going to have an absolute brilliant one. If you don't know what to do, just get your trainers on and get out for a walk. Even if it's around your local park, you know, around the block, you know, you'll never feel worse for it. And that's what I've realised a lot. The message I want to leave you with more than anything is, when things are rubbish, even the smallest things can have a positive impact. Walking around the block, taking a glass of water, getting some sleep, even though I've not had a great night's sleep. You know, everything's always better, you know, the next day. One day at a time, one step at a time, one leg at a time on the Robin Hood Way. Next week, I'll be heading towards Rufford Park, a point of real interest in Nottinghamshire. Real sort of local attraction where lots of people visit. An absolutely beautiful place, and heading towards real Sherwood Forest country. Whilst I'm not too far from it here, you know, over there, you're really getting into it. Until then, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Just doing it.